everyone, welcome to our channel. I'm Steven.
I'm Stasi.
And in this video, Stasi's going to watch Casino Royale for the first time. So, how this is going to work, we're first going to see what Stasi knows about the movie. I'll give a few details about the movie. We will then go watch the movie and come back so Stasi can give us her review. Alright, Stasi, what do you know about Casino Royale?
I know nothing. And the only thing I know is that it's a Bond film. And the only reason I know that is because Steven just told me that about an hour ago. So...
You've never seen a James Bond movie before?
Never. I haven't seen one.
She has no idea. She has no idea what she's missing. So, as Stasi said, Casino Royale is a James Bond film, therefore a spy film. It was released in 2006, stars Daniel Craig, Eva Green, Mads Mikkelsen, Jeffrey Wright and Judi Dench, was produced by Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli, was written by Neal Purvis, Robert Wade, and Paul Haggis, and Casino Royale was directed by Martin Campbell. Alright, Stasi, you ready to go watch this?
Yes, I'm excited. I know that Daniel Craig is the Bond in this movie, and I remember from years ago when he got cast and people were super pissed off because he was taking over from Pierce Brosnan, and they didn't like that some blonde British dude was going to be Bond.
Yeah, the blonde hair really pissed people off,
Yeah.
but you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm glad that your first James Bond is going to be Daniel Craig, because people say that whoever you see first as James Bond, that becomes James Bond for you, right? They switch out the actor. You're like, that person's not James Bond. So whoever you saw first. So for me personally, I saw Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. I still like Daniel Craig. I'm glad that you're coming into it thinking Daniel Craig is James Bond.
Yeah. Is he your favorite?
He's pretty damn good. I'm not going to spoil it too much. We're going to
okay.
watch the movie. You tell me what you think. All right, everyone, stick around. Stasi's coming at you with her review of Casino Royale. Okay, everyone. Stasi has just watched Casino Royale. Please give us a synopsis.
Yes. Bear with me. There's a lot going on.
You gotta pay attention to this movie or it's gonna go over your head.
I know. I mean, you're going to have to help me a lot because I can already tell.
So the movie opens and you see Bond. He's waiting in an office for some dude. Basically what happens is he kills him. He becomes a 00 agent. And
What number?
007.
It's important.
It is? How many 00 agents are there?
9.
Okay.
Because it's 00,
But-
so
but-
it's 0,
yeah.
0, 1 through 9. And then it becomes...
But he's just one of them.
He's 007.
Okay,
people.
he's
Apparently,
007.
This is law. All right.
And-
Yeah, I apologize. There are surprised some serious James Bond fans watching this right now who are extremely offended.
This is my first movie.
My sincere apologies.
Then he has his new mission. So they're in Uganda, and they spot a guy who has like scars on his face. He ends up in some chase with him. And what were they doing?
Hardcore parkour.
Yes.
Hardcore parkour. This was like at the height of parkour.
So they did a lot of that. And the guy ends up getting away or dying. I think he dies. I can't remember.
Bond kills him and blows up an embassy.
Right. There you go. That's what happens. Yeah,
Makes
I forgot.
So he didn't want information from him.
I think that was more like that was plan B.
So then, after all that happens, M tells him he's
Who's
done.
M? Who plays M?
Dame Judi Dench.
She tells him, you're done. And then he's like...
She's pissed off that
Yeah.
he blew up the embassy and violated all these laws. So she tells him, take a fucking hike.
Right. So then he goes on vacation. They go to the Bahamas. So he ends up there, finds out who the new person is. They want to blow up a plane, and in return, they're going to get a bunch of money for it.
So what are they trying to blow up? The plane?
Yep.
Who's on the plane?
He ends up stopping the plane explosion from happening, and the bad guy has to figure out another way to get the money.
The bad guy, the chief.
Are you familiar at all with like the Bond villain archetype?
No.
Sweet.
Is he the villain?
What do you think?
Yes. What's with this inhaler?
Bond villain. They have quirks.
He bleeds out of his eye.
He cries.
He cries blood.
Played by Mads Mikkelsen, does a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
He's a financier for terrorists. He loses the
weird.
money because the plane doesn't blow up. So then what does he do?
So then the dude that cries blood...
Le Chiffre.
Who?
Le Chiffre.
Le Chiffre?
Le Chiffre.
Le Chiffre. Like
this is
Le
like
Chiffre?
Hans Landa all over again. Jesus, you cannot remember villains' names whatsoever.
Le Chiffre. So Bond teams up with Vesper and Mathis.
Vesper is Eva Green's character in this movie.
Yes,
The
Bond girl.
actual Bond girl. Stasi
Yes.
kept wondering who the Bond girl was.
Is this the Bond girl? Is she the Bond girl?
No.
And she's not the Bond girl? And she's not the Bond girl?
Just watch.
Is she the Bond girl?
Every penny of it.
Yes.
So when are they gonna have sex?
So he teams up with them, and so they're all like working together, and he's in the poker game. He ends up losing a hand, and the CIA dude, who he didn't know was in the CIA,
Jeffrey Wright's character.
there you go. He tells him, well, I'll give you $5 million to buy back into the poker game. So, because he feels like he can, win this.
It's just taxpayer money. Who gives a shit, right?
So then after buying back in, Bond ends up winning the poker game. So then Le Chiffre gets really mad and he ends up kidnapping him and Vesper and decides
What's he do to Bond?
torture them.
How's he torture?
But torture for Bond meant slapping his balls with a
rope and
and it didn't look pleasant. So they torture him, and what's the dude's name that
Mr.
comes
White.
in? Mr. White comes in.
Yeah, there's just sort of this mysterious figure, Mr. White, who's sort of in the background the whole time.
Yeah. Mr. White comes in, and he kills Le Chiffre. And Bond and Vesper are able to get away. They decide they're going to run away together, so to speak, and they go on vacation, and it's just them being lovey-dovey for a while.
It's not real, though. He's not actually gonna quit.
Just turned in his resignation.
Yeah, but he's James Bond.
At this point, Bond thinks that Mathis was a traitor.
Yes.
So Mathis gets taken away to be interrogated. But what happens next?
Yeah, so they're being lovey-dovey. She, one morning, is like, I need to go to the bank. And he realizes that she's the traitor. She's on her way to the bank to get the money and give it to the bad guys.
Yeah, traitor.
So he has to run, try and find her and catch her. A fight ensues in a building, and the building starts to collapse because of all of the chaos.
Yeah, in Venice,
and
the building's like sinking as they're fighting in it.
Yeah, so it's basically going underwater. He kills everyone except for Vesper, who ends up trapped in an elevator shaft, I think. And as the building is going under, he dives down to try and save her. And even though she's a traitor,
Yeah, traitor.
he was still trying to save her because he loved her. And she ends up inhaling the water to drown herself. He talks to M on the phone and decides that he's going to trust no one moving forward.
Ugh, you can trust no one.
He goes to find Mr. White, and he shoots him and then begins an interrogation.
What's the last line in the movie?
Bond, James Bond.
No, Mr. White goes, "Who's this?" And he walks up with the gun, and he says, "Name's Bond. James Bond."
I'm close enough.
Cut to credits. It was great. The end of this movie is my favorite part of this movie. Literally, the last 10 seconds is the best.
It's classic. I haven't seen the movies, but I know that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they saved it for the last line
Yeah.
of the movie. That's why it's so good.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't say it the whole movie.
Yeah.
They allude to is it Beach or Bond in the poker game. He never says,
Yeah.
you had the original Bond where he's in the casino and it's Bond, James Bond. They don't do that. They wait till the very end. It's the last line of the movie. And it's so good. And Stasi is just like, nah.
Nah. And then the movie's done. Done. After that.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
All right, Stasi. What were some of your favorite parts of Casino Royale?
So I really liked Daniel Craig as James Bond, even though I know some people don't like him. And I don't care that he's blonde. I know that was a thing. I remember hearing it back in the day when this movie first came out or when he was first cast or whatever. But I thought he was great. And that's probably because he's the first Bond that I'm seeing. But I don't care. He was great. And I don't know. We'll see what happens when I watch the other ones. But he had great dialogue. He was witty. He had charisma. It was like you were rooting for him throughout the movie. And when anything bad happened to him, you were like bummed out. At least that was my experience. Even though I know bad things are supposed to happen to people. It's part of the movie plot. And yeah, he was funny. And my favorite scenes were surrounding the poker game. He was really good during those. And the villain dude who I didn't like, he was great at like going back and forth with him.
Just staring him down.
Their dynamic was really fun to look at and watch. And yeah, you hated the villain, so it was like even better for like making Bond look good. And also the action sequences were really good. They kept my attention. Like even throughout the whole movie, I wasn't bored. And it didn't seem as long as it was. It was like almost 3 hours, I think.
It's like 2.5 hours.
Oh, 2.5 hours, yeah. So it's a pretty long movie, but it didn't feel that long just because the pacing was so well done.
We're 45 minutes into this movie. Doesn't feel like it, does it?
No.
Yeah.
It's well paced.
It kept your attention, just everything that was going on in the movie.
All right, Stasi, and what were some of your least favorite parts of the movie?
So I feel like Bond should have died like 5 minutes into this movie, just because...
Again, if you're thinking that way, you're not going to enjoy it. Yes, somebody getting shot at by 9 AK-47s is probably going to die pretty fucking quick.
Yes.
But not James Bond.
Yes, not
if
James
Bond.
Bond.
If you go into it thinking that, you're not going to enjoy it.
Yes, but looking
it's like
at
in
it...
Star Wars where the stormtroopers are shooting the blasters and the beams are just going everywhere. Like, they're just going to miss, all right? He's going to make it. Like, that's...
Yeah.
The whole time we were watching the movie, I'm telling Stasi, you can't think like that. You're not going to enjoy it.
As a first-timer watching it, though, he should have died.
Yeah, no shit.
And... But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I tend to be kind of analytical when it comes to that kind of stuff.
You fucking think so?
And so, yeah, he should have died real quick. He had, like, 9 lives. It didn't really make any sense.
And he's surviving all of this.
Just don't think like that. You're not going to enjoy the movie if you think like that.
Okay. He would be dead.
Don't think like that.
I'm sorry. Again, he'd be dead.
Stop. You're not going to enjoy any of these movies if you keep thinking like that. It's James fucking Bond.
Also, at the poker game, when his Bond's drink gets spiked and he ends up running out and using the defibrillator to try and restart his heart, and he ends up passing out, and then Vesper comes in and just randomly, like, knows what to do and saves him. It was just kind of, like, weird.
A little coincidental.
Like, yeah. Like
easy,
no one is going to
fix.
know how to do that. So I thought that part was kind of weird.
Perfect timing, Bond girl.
Also, like, how the fuck did she know exactly
Right.
what to do, you know? Where to plug it in and push the button and all that shit? Like, yeah, no, there's some... But again, you can't think like that or you won't enjoy the movie.
Okay.
There were other parts in the plot that were kind of funny like that, where you didn't really know why it was such an easy fix. But that was, like, one that really stuck out to me.
And Stasi, would you watch Casino Royale again?
I would. I really enjoyed it. It was a great film.
That's the correct answer, by the way.
It was a great introduction to the Bond universe, I guess I should say.
All right, Stasi, now you've got to guess some numbers for us. We're going to do the budget and box office guesses as well as Rotten Tomatoes score. So, what are your guesses for the budget and the box office for Casino Royale?
So I think the budget was pretty high, but this was 2006, so maybe not too high. So I'm going to say $108 million. And for the box office, I'm going to say it made $405 million.
So for this movie, the budget was $150 million.
Okay.
And it made $606 million.
Ah!
Yeah.
I lowballed it
Yeah.
a little bit.
And what about for Rotten Tomatoes scores? Critics and audience.
So critics, I'm going to say 81%. And for audience, I'm going to say 76%.
So the critics rated it at a 95, and the audience gave it an 89.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I lowballed it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have rated it higher like that, but...
No, when this movie came out, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
There was
Okay.
a few, I think, a longer than usual pause between Bond movies. They had the new James Bond, and then this one was trying to sort of reinvent and sort of revamp it with that, you know, post 9/11, gritty, dark, you know, intensity that other Bond movies were lacking. I mean, you haven't seen any of the other ones, but they were... I mean, for fuck's sake, in Moonraker, James Bond goes to the fucking moon. And you have Jaws with metal teeth and Oddjob throwing his hat at people and decapitating them. I mean, there's some wild shit in these old James Bond movies. And, yeah, this movie was just like, here's Bond. Here's a, you know, thriller, suspense, espionage type of movie. And Daniel Craig's going to be out there choking people out and shooting people and kicking ass and getting his nuts whipped off and then sinking motherfuckers in a building and shooting people in the eyes with nail guns. Intense, dark, gritty. People fucking loved this movie when it came out. That's why I'm glad I made you watch it for our channel today.
Yeah. No, I did love it. And, yeah, I would have rated it somewhere in the 90s myself. But I guess the critics liked it a lot more than I thought, which is great. So there's my review of Casino Royale.
If you like this video and you like the way that we watch and review movies here on the channel, make sure to subscribe and click on notifications so you'll know when we post a new video.
Also, be sure to comment your thoughts on Casino Royale, of my review. Let us know what you think. And if there are any movies that you think one or both of us haven't seen before, be sure to comment those below.
Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks.
So is he going to pay for all the damage that he's causing?
That's a very good question to ask. You'll see his bosses ask him exactly the same question.